You've noticed something. People talk over you. They interrupt mid-sentence. They ask for your opinion, then ignore it. They agree to your face, then do the opposite. You stay calm through all of it. You don't raise your voice. You don't make scenes. You think that makes you the reasonable one. And in a way, it does. But something else is happening too. Something you didn't plan for. Staying calm is supposed to be the right move. Everyone says so. Don't be reactive. Don't be emotional. Don't lose control. Calm people are respected. Calm people are taken seriously. That's what you've been told. And you believe it. Because it makes sense. Chaos doesn't command respect. Anger doesn't build trust. So you stay steady. You speak softly. You never escalate. You think this is strength. And it is. At least, that's what it looks like at first. Calm feels powerful when you're alone. It feels like discipline, like you're above the noise, like you've mastered something others haven't. When someone yells, you stay quiet. When someone pushes, you step back. You tell yourself you're choosing peace. You tell yourself you're being mature. And you are. But the system doesn't see maturity. The system sees something else. If this feels familiar, it's because this isn't theory. It's something you've lived. You watch people who are less calm than you. They raise their voice once and people adjust. They push back once and suddenly they're taken into account. You tell yourself they're just aggressive, that they lack control, that their approach is beneath you, and maybe it is, but they're also not being ignored. They're not being interrupted. They're not being dismissed. And you are, not because you're wrong, because the signal you send is different from the signal they send. There is something rarely explained about respect. It's not about who's right. It's not about who's kind. It's not even about who's calm. Respect is a response, not to your intention, to your structure. And structure is built from signals. Signals are read in real time. They are not read from your thoughts. They are read from your behavior. And behavior is not what you feel inside. It's what happens outside. You stay calm when someone interrupts you. That's a signal. You stay calm when someone dismisses your idea. That's a signal. You stay calm when someone takes credit for your work. That's a signal. You think the signal is, I'm composed. But the system reads it differently. The system reads, this can continue, because the system doesn't interpret intention. It interprets consequence. And if there is no consequence, the system files that as permission, not consciously, not with malice, just automatically. You think being calm means being strong. But the system doesn't measure strength by what you feel. It measures strength by what changes when you show up. If nothing changes, the system registers you as neutral. Neutral doesn't mean bad. It just means no adjustment needed. And when no adjustment is needed, position becomes fixed. Your position becomes the one who absorbs. The one who doesn't push back. The one who stays pleasant no matter what. That becomes your role, not because you're weak. Because the system learned it's safe to continue. Think about a time someone tested a boundary with you. Maybe they said something dismissive. Maybe they ignored something you said was important. You stayed calm. You didn't react. You told yourself, I'm not going to stoop to that level. And you didn't. But here's what happened next. They did it again. Not because they're cruel, because the first time produced no friction. No friction means no boundary. No boundary means no limit. And no limit means the behavior expands. This is not personal. This is pattern recognition. The system is just learning what works. Every interaction is a data point. The system collects these points without thinking about it. Your calm response to being interrupted becomes data. Your calm response to being dismissed becomes data. Your calm response to being overlooked becomes data. The system doesn't judge this data. It just uses it. And what it learns is simple. With you, there is no cost. No cost means no risk. No risk means no reason to change. So the behavior repeats. And each time it repeats, the pattern gets stronger. Each time it repeats, your position gets clearer. Not the position you want, the position the pattern created. You think respect is earned through virtue, through patience, through kindness, through calm. And those things matter. But respect is not a feeling someone has about you. Respect is a behavior adjustment someone makes around you. And adjustments only happen when there's a reason to adjust. If your response is always the same, no matter the input, there is no reason to adjust. The system learns. This person will stay calm no matter what I do. That becomes data. And data shapes behavior. Not yours. Theirs. You might think this is unfair. That you shouldn't have to change. That other people should just recognize your value. And maybe they should. But the system doesn't work on should. It works on pattern. And the pattern is built from what actually happens. Not from what you intended. Not from what you hoped. From what repeated. From what became predictable. And predictability is what creates position. Repetition creates patterns. Patterns define position. And position determines how you're treated. Not how you deserve to be treated. How you're expected to be treated. Expectation is built from history. And history is built from what you allowed to repeat. You didn't allow it with words. You allowed it with silence, with calm, with no consequence. And the system filed that as structure. Here's what most people don't say. Calm without boundaries trains disrespect. Not because calm is wrong, because calm without limits becomes a pattern. And patterns teach people how to treat you. If calm is your only response, it stops being a choice. It becomes your position. And position is what people react to. If your calm has no edge, this doesn't mean you were wrong to stay calm. It means calm was interpreted as position, not strength. The system doesn't read your internal narrative. It doesn't know you're choosing peace. It just knows nothing happened. And when nothing happens, behavior continues. Not out of disrespect for who you are, out of response to what the system learned. You've been operating under an assumption. The assumption is, calm equals strength, and strength commands respect. But that's only half true. Calm can be strength. But strength without structure is invisible. And invisible strength doesn't change how people act. It only changes how you feel. And how you feel doesn't update the system. Only what you do updates the system. Or more accurately, what happens when someone crosses a line. If nothing happens, the line wasn't real. And if the line wasn't real, the system learns there is no line. Respect is not an emotion. It's a behavioral response to structure. Structure is the shape of what's allowed and what's not. If everything is allowed, there is no structure. If there is no structure, there is no adjustment. And if there is no adjustment, there is no respect. Not the kind that changes how people act, just the kind that sounds nice. You can be the kindest person in the room, the most patient, the most calm. But if your calm has no edge, it has no boundary. And if it has no boundary, it becomes the default. The default becomes your role, and your role becomes your position. Position is not chosen by you. It's assigned by pattern, and the pattern was built from repetition, from every time you stayed calm and nothing shifted. The system doesn't punish calm. It just responds to what calm permits. And if calm permits everything, the system adjusts accordingly, not to harm you, just to continue. Because continuation is what the system does when there's no reason to stop. You gave it no reason, so it didn't. You're not the problem. The signal is. And the signal was built by what you thought was strength. But strength without boundary is just endurance. And endurance doesn't command respect. It commands repetition. The people who don't take you seriously aren't cruel. They're just responding to the pattern you didn't know you were creating. By staying calm every time, by never drawing a line, by believing calm alone was enough. It wasn't, and now you know why. More on the channel. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.